Sophia's fingertips glided gently over the piano keys, and Chopin's nocturne came to an abrupt halt. She looked up at the wall clock. It was 5:20, and there were still 40 minutes before Marcus came to pick up the twins. "Are you sure no one will come back unexpectedly today?" Leo wrapped his arms around her waist from behind, his warm breath brushing against the nape of her neck. Sophia turned her head to avoid his gaze, her fingers unconsciously rubbing the edge of the piano keys. "Marcus is taking the kids to his mother's for the weekend," she paused. "But you should leave before 6. Leo let out a low chuckle, his hand slipping under the hem of her silk blouse. "You say that every time," he murmured, gently nipping her earlobe with his teeth. "But when have you ever had the heart to make me leave on time?" The phone in the living room suddenly vibrated. Sophia's body froze, but Leo held her even tighter. "Ignore it. It might be about the music studio." She struggled to reach for the phone on the coffee table. Marcus's name was flashing on the screen. Leo clicked his tongue and let go. "Did the kids forget their pajamas?" Sophia pressed the answer button, her voice half a tone higher than usual. Marcus's calm voice came from the other end. "I already found them in the car. I just wanted to confirm the time for the parent-teacher conference next Tuesday." Sophia's nails dug into her palms. "It's still 3 p.m., just like it says in the email." She watched as Leo retrieved her cherished bottle of Riesling from the wine cabinet and poured 2 glasses. By the time she hung up, Leo was already holding a wine glass to her lips. "What are you so nervous about?" He swirled the wine in his glass. "We're not having an affair, after all." "Then what do you call this?" Sophia didn't take the glass. Leo tilted his head back and finished his own wine, the base of the glass clinking sharply against the marble countertop. "Call it." He suddenly swept her off her feet, carrying her bridal style. "Call it a preview of our married life." The curtains in the second-floor bedroom weren't fully drawn. A slant of sunset cut across the rumpled sheets. As Sophia stared up at the swaying crystal chandelier on the ceiling, she suddenly thought of the small hotel in Salzburg with Marcus when she was 20. Back then, they'd squeezed into a creaky, iron-framed bed, and he'd gently brushed the hair stuck to her sweaty neck away from her skin. "Focus." Leo pinched her waist in annoyance. The doorbell suddenly rang, shrill and unexpected. Sophia pushed him away hard, the silk sheets making a harsh, scraping sound. "Did you order takeout?" Leo propped himself up on his elbows. Sophia haphazardly pulled on a bathrobe, her heartbeat so loud it drowned out the doorbell. "Impossible." When she rushed to the staircase, she saw through the peephole Eva's fingers, painted with scarlet nail polish, pressing the doorbell for the 3rd time. "Who is it?" Leo followed, carrying his shirt. Sophia nearly tripped on the stairs as she turned around. She grabbed the handrail, her throat tight. "Your wife?" Leo's expression froze. He glanced down at his phone, which he'd left on the sofa. The screen was still lit, displaying Google Maps with a red pin stuck on Sophia's apartment address. The phone slipped from his fingers, landing on the carpet with a dull thud. Sophia stared at that blinking red, her stomach clenched as if by an invisible hand. How could she? Location sharing. Leo bent down to pick up the phone, his shirt collar gaping open to reveal a hickey on his collarbone. "Last week, she said she needed to check my gym schedule." The doorbell turned into a continuous, buzzing drone. Eva's voice cut through the door. "Do you want me to call the police and say there's prostitution going on here?" Sophia's nails dug deeper into her palms. She suddenly rushed to the coat rack by the entrance and stuffed Leo's trainer jacket into the storage cabinet. "Go to the bathroom upstairs." Her voice trembled. "Take the fire escape from the backyard. Why hide?" Leo instead fastened his belt. This is the perfect chance to make her give up. The security door suddenly clicked as a key turned in the lock. Sophia's blood ran cold. Marcus had gotten a spare key made last month, and it was still with the property management. The moment the door opened, Eva burst in holding her phone, the pink polish on her nails glinting in front of the camera. "Go on." She zoomed in on the open fly of Leo's pants. "Let netizens see what a personal trainer's private lessons really look like." Sophia instinctively pulled her bathrobe tighter around her chest, but the silk sash came loose. The camera immediately panned to the bruises on her thighs, and Eva's voice turned sickly sweet. "Mr. Marcus, does your wife usually teach her students piano like this too?" Marcus stood in the shadow of the entrance, still holding the sketchbook the twins had left behind. His gaze swept over the reddening teeth marks on Leo's neck. Then he suddenly threw the sketchbook at the wine cabinet. The sound of shattering glass mingled with Riesling spilling down the piano legs. Birds of a feather. Eva adjusted the camera focus amid the mess. Judges love high-definition evidence. Leo suddenly lunged for the phone. "You bitch!" Marcus's fist moved faster. The slap sent Leo crashing into the coffee table, coffee staining the Persian carpet with a dark blotch. Sophia heard a whimper escape her throat. After 23 years as a piano teacher, her fingers were now white-knuckling the staircase handrail. "Bravo!" Eva stepped back, filming Marcus as he grabbed Leo by the collar. "Hit harder. This'll make great evidence for the custody case." Leo spat out a mouthful of blood and laughed. "You've wanted out for ages, haven't you?" With the clinic's accounting problems, Eva's camera suddenly swung to Sophia. "Know why he always makes plans for Thursday afternoons? Because he's embezzling cash from his dad's clinic." The metronome on the piano was still ticking. Sophia watched as Marcus let go of Leo. When he turned around, he knocked over their wedding photo, the frame's glass shattering into a spiderweb at Leo's feet. "Move out by Saturday." Marcus's voice sounded as if from a distance. "Otherwise, I'll send the surveillance footage to the Conservatory of Music." Eva finally put down her phone and pulled a folder from her Hermes bag. "Sign this, or tonight the whole of Vienna will get gifts of you playing piano naked." Leo wiped the blood from his mouth and reached for the folder, but Sophia grabbed it first. The number highlighted in neon by Eva on the last page of the property division agreement made her eyes sting. It was the vacation home in Leo's parents' names, with Eva as the sole beneficiary, and a noise suddenly came from the backyard fire escape. When Sophia turned around, Leo had already vanished through the window, the curtains fluttering behind him. Only one of his AJ sneakers was left, tilted on the windowsill. The sneaker wobbled slightly, its laces hanging down like a dead snake. Sophia stared at it, her ears filled with the sound of Eva's high heels clicking over broken glass. "The video's already been posted." Eva waved her phone. "It's got over 1,000 likes." Marcus bent down to pick up the photo frame, glass shards piercing his palm. By Tuesday, he flicked away a drop of blood. "Send the kids' passports to my office." The sash of Sophia's bathrobe dragged through the wine stain. She suddenly grabbed Eva's wrist, her nails digging into the flesh beneath Eva's Cartier bracelet. "Delete the video," her voice tight. "I'll fix the clinic's accounts for you." Too late. Eva pried her fingers loose. "Leo's parents just transferred 15% of their shares to me." She leaned in close to Sophia's ear. "Know what netizens are calling you? The piano slut." The moment the door slammed shut, the metronome finally stopped. Sophia stepped barefoot onto the glass shards. The pain jolted her awake, and she fumbled for her phone. The parent group for the music studio was blowing up with 99+ messages, topped by an anonymous link to the cheating video. "Ms. Sophia, will lessons still be on next week?" A new message popped up at the top from a mother of one of the twins' classmates. Her hands shaking, she opened the comments section. Someone had posted a photo of her and Marcus waiting in line at City Hall 3 years ago, applying for a divorce. "We didn't go through with it because of custody." She spoke to the empty room, only to hear how hoarse her voice was. The fridge was still covered with magnetic notes listing the parent-teacher conference time for next week. She suddenly tore them off in a frenzy. The phone vibrated again. An official email from the conservatory's dean. "In light of the public impact, the spring masterclass will be temporarily taken over by Professor Klaus." The last line of small print stung her eyes. "Please return your practice room, key to the administration office." Blue police lights flashed outside the window. Sophia rushed to the window, only to see someone jumping from the apartment building across the street. The onlookers below held up their phones, their cameras all pointing at her building. As she pulled the curtains closed, she knocked over a vase. The water soaked the copy of the clinic's accounting books she'd hidden under the carpet. Missed calls from Leo flashed on the screen. She hit redial, and the sound of video game sound effects came through the line. "I'm at my parents' place," he whispered. "That crazy bitch, Eva. What about the vacation home?" Sophia cut him off. There was a pause on the other end. "That's premarital property." Leo's excuse was drowned out by gunfire from the game. "Just lay low for a few days." And then Sophia hung up, realizing her wedding ring had somehow scratched her cheek. She opened the closet to find a turtleneck sweater, only to pull out the gym belt Leo had left behind. The metal buckle hit her instep, 10 times more painful than the glass shards. The doorbell rang again. Through the peephole, she saw 2 young girls holding selfie sticks. "We're your fans." They giggled, adjusting their beauty filters. "Can we interview you about what it's like to sleep with a personal trainer?" Sophia slid down the door, her back hitting the wood. Her phone automatically played the top comments on the video. "Pretending to be elegant? Look at how she grinds against the piano bench. Poor kids. Mom's cheating, dad's filming. Heard she only stayed married to get more alimony." The bathroom mirror reflected the purple hickeys on her neck. She grabbed her concealer only to throw it away. The makeup smashed against Leo's leftover sneaker. Half a clinic receipt peeked out from the tongue of the shoe, dated 3:17 p.m. last Thursday. The property management suddenly called. "Ms. Sophia." The manager's tone was awkward. "Some residents have complained about you, affecting the neighborhood's image. Do you think you could stay at a hotel for a few days?" The sheet music from Moonlight Sonata, the piece she was supposed to teach tomorrow, was still spread out on the piano. Sophia picked it up and tore it in half, only to find a note scrawled in pencil on the back in Leo's handwriting. "Thursday, same place. I'll take you to the clinic for a surprise." The roar of a sports car came from downstairs. She lifted the curtain slightly and saw Marcus's restaurant delivery driver loading a sign for a divorce party special offer into the trunk. The slogan was bright and clear. "Caught a cheater? Second drink half price." The juice boxes the twins hadn't finished in the fridge were starting to bloat. Sophia stared at the bulging packages, listening to her phone ping with new messages. Facebook pushed a new post from Eva, a photo of her hand, adorned with a diamond ring, resting on a law firm folder, captioned "Reborn." A pool of red wine slowly seeped out from under the piano bench, like dry blood. Sophia's toe hit something hard. Looking down, she saw Leo's wedding ring stuck in the floorboard, engraved on the inside with ENL forever. She ground the ring into the floor with the tip of her shoe, the scraping of metal making her teeth ache. Her phone lit up. Leo had sent a location pin, blinking at the back entrance of Schneider Family Clinic. As she grabbed her car keys, she knocked over the umbrella stand by the door. A long-handled umbrella hit the photo frame, and the crack that split the glass ran straight across her and Marcus's smiling faces. The clinic's glass door had a "closed for business" sign hanging on it. Sophia froze mid-knock, seeing through the blinds that Leo's mother was locking the safe. "Mrs. Schneider." Her nails scraped against the glass. "Leo promised me." The old woman knocked over a stethoscope as she turned around. She picked up the metal chess piece and waved it at Sophia, as if examining someone with a contagious disease. "My son isn't here," she said, her lipstick smudging red on her mask. "I suggest you check the gym. I still have the copies of last Thursday's accounting records." Sophia pressed her phone against the glass, the screen showing a reimbursement form for surgery fees signed by Leo's parents. "Do you think the health authority will be interested in where the anesthetics went?" The blinds suddenly snapped shut. Sophia heard the sound of a cabinet slamming closed, followed by the click of a deadbolt. As she kicked the door handle, the screech of a sports car's brakes came from behind her. Eva's pink high heels stepped into a puddle. What a coincidence! She took off her sunglasses, the platinum clasp on her lawyer's briefcase glinting coldly. "Here, to collect compensation for your wasted youth?" Sophia's thumb hovered over the send button on her phone. The back door of the clinic suddenly creaked open a crack. Leo's father stood in the gap, his lab coat hiding a pair of house slippers. "Darling Eva," he said, "the property documents are all ready." "Wait." Sophia grabbed the doorframe. "Last Thursday, he told me. Told you he'd give you the vacation home?" Eva pulled a folder from her lawyer's hand, highlighting Clause 17. real estate ownership in neon. Too bad the notary public only recognizes this. She leaned in, whispering in Sophia's ear. Know why I chose today to come? His parents just mortgaged the clinic. Mr. Schneider's hand trembled on the door handle. Sophia noticed coffee stains on his collar. Exactly the same habit Leo had when he lied. At least let me see him. Her voice suddenly cracked. Just 5 minutes. The lawyer suddenly held up his phone. The screen showed a live, trending topic. #PianoGateMistress. The latest video was of Sophia tearing up sheet music with a caption, "Furious because she got caught. Now's your chance to leave." Eva tapped a folder against her palm. Otherwise, the next video will be of you teaching that 8-year-old student Sophia's nails dug into her palms. As she turned toward the parking lot, she heard the sound of the rolling shutter door rising. Then came Eva's exaggerated gasp. "Oh my God, this operating room turned walk-in closet is amazing." Sophia's hand shook so hard she could barely insert the car key into the lock. Glancing in the rearview mirror, she saw the curtains on the second floor of the clinic move slightly. Leo's profile was faintly visible. She hit the horn, and the curtains immediately snapped shut. Her phone vibrated. A colleague from the conservatory sent a message. The principal is considering the dismissal process. Attached was a photo of a meeting. Marcus's graduation gift sculpture was being carried out of the auditorium. Rain suddenly pelted the windshield. Sophia swerved sharply toward the old town, the dashboard still covered with star stickers the twins had put there. She ran 3 yellow lights before stopping in front of the arcade Leo frequented. The boy behind the counter didn't look up. "The VIP room's booked today. Tell Leo." Sophia's voice caught her throat. She saw half a clinic receipt sticking out of the trash can by the cash register. The item listed clearly, double jacuzzi massage. The phone vibrated again. A strange number sent an MMS, a photo of Leo with his arm around Eva in front of the vacation home, captioned, "Thanks to someone for making this possible." In the corner of the photo, the suitcase still had the couple's luggage tag Sophia had given Leo last year that a cheer erupted from the arcade. The big screen was replaying a football match. When a player fell, the commentator yelled, "That dive is more fake than getting caught cheating." Amid the laughter, Sophia felt something cold and metallic in her bag. The serrated edge of the practice room, key digging into her palm, that Marcus's fingers, sticky with beer foam, toward the plastic covering of the photo album. The smell of kitchen smoke mixed with burnt onions filled the air as he stared at the wedding photo. Sophia playing the piano, her profile soft, and dug his nails into the edge of the picture, leaving crescent-shaped creases. "Boss, the proof of the new menus here." Marta, the dishwasher, peeked around the freezer, ketchup stains on her apron. "The supplier says cod prices are going up." Marcus folded the photo twice and stuffed it into a trash bag filled with oyster shells. "Order at the original price." He took a swig of beer, foam dripping down the bottle neck onto his wrist. "Replace the special with Hungarian goulash." Karel, the head chef, walked over, flipping a meat thermometer. "That takes too much time, and we're short-staffed in the kitchen. Then hire more people." Marcus suddenly raised his voice, slamming the beer bottle down on the counter. Karel and Marta exchanged a look. They both knew why the boss had suddenly canceled all wine promotions last week. A corner of the photo peeked out from the trash bag. Sophia's pearl earring glinted in the grease. Marcus ground his shoe into it, then heard the familiar sound of laughter from the dining area. "Is at the table watching the cheating video again?" he asked casually, though his fingers were digging dents into the menu proof. Marta twisted the edge of her apron. They ordered the cheater-caught package. The kitchen fell silent, save for the sound of frying oil. Marcus grabbed the proof and walked to the printer. The click of a jammed ink cartridge was identical to the sound of him snapping his wedding ring that night. "Add a kid's meal to the new menu." He stared at the paper the printer spat out. "Draw a piano on it." Carol's hand paused mid-sweat wipe. "Ever since the news, the twins are coming to test the food on Saturday." Marcus cut him off, pulling the grease-soaked photo from the trash bag. Sophia's smile blurred in the steam rising from the stew pot. The sound of a phone vibrating came from the sink. Marta held up the screen, afraid to get close. The boss lady, Miss Sophia, says the kid's oral medication is with you. Marcus dropped the photo into the boiling water pot. Tell her it's on page 3 of the clinic medical records. He turned to open the refrigerator, taking out a medicine box covered with cartoon stickers, only to find a note from Sophia underneath. Remember to take it half an hour after meals. The laughter from the dining area grew louder. Someone shouted, "Play another piano teaching video." The clink of glasses made Marcus's temples throb. He grabbed a paring knife and sliced through the new menu, the piano keys and the drawing torn by the blade. "Boss," Carell grabbed his wrist. "The German sausage supplier's waiting for your call." Marcus stared at the paper scrap on the knife tip. This time last week, Sophia had still been pestering him to sign the sponsorship contract for the spring concert. Now, the restaurant official website had a banner for divorce party 30% off, and the page views were higher than on Valentine's Day. "Tell the German guy cash on delivery," he flung off Carol's hand. "And order 20 more crates of dark beer." Marta hesitantly handed over a tablet. The review section's got another question, asking if that piano teacher really came to our restaurant. Marcus unlocked the screen. The latest comment included a surreptitiously taken photo of Sophia at the gym, captioned, "Looking for the same personal trainer package." The number of likes was rising by the second. Reply to them, Marcus stuffed the medicine box into his coat pocket. "Tell them our signature dish is Hungarian goulash, not rotten meat." The printer suddenly spat out half a sheet of paper. Carell picked it up, frowning. "Why is this a clinic appointment slip?" Marcus snatched it away. The edge of the paper still smelled of Sophia's perfume. The appointment date was exactly the day Leo had been photographed entering the clinic. He remembered Eva shouting anesthetic embezzlement in the video, and his throat suddenly tightened. "Boss?" Marta waved the phone. "Miss Sophia asked when you'll be free for a video call. The kids want to see the kitchen." After closing, Marcus loosened his collar. "Over the hum of the freezer," he added, "after 10. Carell nailed the new menu to the bulletin board. The crack in the piano drawing ran right through the bench. Marcus felt the sticky medicine box in his pocket, realizing the strawberry-flavored oral medication expired tomorrow. That a round of applause suddenly burst from the dining area. A waiter rushed in, yelling, "That table wants to order another cheater-caught package." Marcus grabbed a beer bottle and walked toward the dining area, the medicine box slipping from his pocket. Marta bent down to pick it up, seeing the clinic appointment number Sophia had written on the back of the note, the ink blurred by water into a faint cross. The game controller in Leo's hand was burning hot. The projection screen in the vacation home displayed the word victory in bold letters. He tilted his head back and took a swig of beer, foam dripping down his chin onto his t-shirt, the same color as the wine stain on Sophia's carpet yesterday. "Another record?" His teammate teased over the headphones. "You've been online more this week than a personal trainer clocking in." Leo glanced at his muted phone. The screen was piled with 23 missed calls. The latest was a voice-to-text message from his mother. "Eva's at the clinic with a lawyer. Don't turn your phone on." Car headlights suddenly flashed outside the window. He instinctively ducked below the windowsill, the beer can hitting the floor with a clatter. "What the hell?" The teammate pressed. "Got a woman over there?" Leo stared through the gap in the curtains, not relaxing until a food delivery scooter drove away. The AC unit fell off. He put his headphones back on, his fingers clicking rapidly on the keyboard. One more round. The phone screen lit up again, this time with a Facebook notification. Eva had posted a new selfie with a diamond ring, captioned, "The winner knows when to cut losses." His father's account was for on the likes list. Fuck. Leo flipped the phone face down on the coffee table, but the vibrations still hummed through the wooden surface. His game character was suddenly headshot. The teammate cursed and left a voice chat, yelling one last thing. Netizens were right. You're just a mama's boy and a cheater. Leo threw the headphones across the room. The phone on the coffee table was still vibrating, this time with an unknown number. He hesitated, then swiped to answer. Sophia's hoarse voice came through the receiver. "I still have the copies of the clinic's accounting records." "Have you lost your mind?" Leo rushed to close the curtains tightly. "The whole of Vienna is doxing you right now." Eva took the vacation home, Sophia's breathing was heavy, like she was climbing stairs. You said it was ours. Leo's thumb unconsciously rubbed the edge of the game console. It's in my parents' names. I can't do anything about it. He heard piano music in the background, horribly out of tune. The health authority will get 3 copies of the anesthetic usage records tomorrow. Sophia suddenly laughed. Guess how many gym members Leo Schneider has been writing prescriptions for? Cold sweat broke out in Leo's palms. He thought of the medicine bottles he'd hidden in his gym locker last week, still labeled with the clinic's logo. Calm down, he lowered his voice. My parents promised to compensate you. I want to see you. Sophia cut him off. Now, bring the key. The game screen suddenly flashed a low battery warning. Leo stared at the blinking red icon. It looked exactly like the red dot on Eva's phone location that day. Impossible, he swallowed. There are reporters everywhere. The sound of paper rustling came from the other end. July 12, 2019, Sophia read aloud. A prescription for a patient who tested positive for cocaine, signed by Dr. Schneider Sr., she paused. But he was at a medical seminar in Munich that day. Leo's temples throbbed. That day, he'd secretly used his father's stamp to help a rich kid at the gym cover up a failed drug test. 8 o'clock, Old Dock Warehouse. Sophia hung up. The game console died completely. Leo mechanically took a microwavable meal out of the fridge. His mother always overcooked the goulash, just like she always insisted on cleaning up every mess he made. The phone vibrated again. This time an encrypted message from his father. Don't come home. Your mother took care of it. Attached was a photo of a safe key. Leo jabbed his fork into the goulash, and the meat fell apart instantly. He suddenly remembered how Sophia had always complained about him being late for dates. Right now, she was probably standing at the dock in the cold wind, counting down the seconds for someone who would never show up. The sound of a motorcycle engine came from outside. Leo turned off all the lights on reflex, fumbling in the dark for the keychain hanging by the entrance, the spare key to the vacation home, which his mother had rekeyed last week. Before the tablet screen went dark, the last notification was an ad for Marcus's restaurant's new menu, with a bright red X over the piano drawing. The metal clasp of Eva's lawyer's folder slammed down on the courtroom table, the sound silencing the gallery instantly. Pursuant to Article 90 of Austria's Civil Code, he pushed up his wire-rimmed glasses. My client is entitled to 75% of the marital assets. As the judge flipped through the evidence folder, the rustle of paper was identical to the sound of Sophia tearing sheet music. Eva stroked her newly done French manicure, her peripheral vision catching reporters frantically photographing the screenshots of the cheating video she'd submitted. The defendant is absent. The judge frowned at the empty defendant's seat. The lawyer immediately spoke up. Mr. Schneider has authorized me to handle this on his behalf. He pulled a brand new property deed from his briefcase. This is proof that the vacation home was transferred to my client by his parents. It is not marital property. A man in a baseball cap suddenly stood up in the back of the gallery. Leo pulled the brim lower and started to leave, but Eva's clear voice stopped him. Your Honor, I request additional compensation for mental anguish. She held up her phone. I received another threatening text from the defendant this morning. Leo's feet froze. He hadn't sent any texts, but his number was clearly displayed on the large screen. This was what his mother had meant by taking care of it last night. He tightened his grip on the clinic's master key in his pocket. In light of the severe public impact, the judge brought down his gavel. The plaintiff's divorce petition is granted. The defendant shall pay 60,000 euros in moral damages. Before the gavel hit the block a second time, reporters swarmed Eva, their flashbulbs making the diamond in her earlobe glow. Leo burst through the fire exit and into the stairwell, his phone vibrating in his pocket. His mother's message was filled with exclamation marks. The clinic transfer papers are done. Followed by a bank notification. Exactly enough to cover the damages, he stared at the screen until his vision blurred. The musty smell of the stairwell mixed with cheap cleaner, identical to the basement where his father had made him stand in punishment every time he'd misbehaved as a kid. The phone vibrated again. Sophia's number popping up. Final warning. Meet me at the dock at 8. A sudden downpour hit outside the courtroom. Eva climbed into a Mercedes under her lawyer's umbrella, then rolled down the window. Oh, and she turned her diamond ring to the inside of her finger. The health authority will inspect the clinic tomorrow. Make sure to tell your father. Rain ran down Leo's neck and into his collar. He watched the taillights fade into the distance, remembering Sophia's hoarse threat that morning. The newsstand on the corner was updating its headlines. On the electronic screen, under the tag Piano Gate Mistress, was a surveillance screenshot of him and Sophia in the gym locker room. Sophia's fingertip slipped on a piano key as the apartment door unlocked. Chopin's Asterisk Prelude in D-flat major, Raindrop. Asterisk missed half a note. She stared at the figure emerging from the hallway shadows, and the piano bench let out a strained creak. You're here. Her voice was tighter than a violin string. Did you bring the key? Leo's sneakers left wet stains on the carpet. He spotted the open delivery box on the piano. The edges of the clinic's accounting documents were still sticky with wine. My parents sold the clinic, he said, his throat feeling dry. Those records, Sophia suddenly hit a fortissimo chord. Amid the lingering vibration, she held up her phone screen. The health authority's report form was filled out, her finger trembling over the send button. Last chance, she stared at the scabbed hickey on Leo's collarbone. I want that vacation home. Lightning outside illuminated Leo's pale face. He took 2 steps forward, then suddenly dropped to his knees in front of the piano and grabbed her wrist. Let's run away together, okay? His nails dug into her pulse. I stole my father's safe. There's cash in it. Sophia pulled her hand back so sharply that her wedding ring scraped the piano lid with a shrill sound. She looked at the man she'd once given up everything for, now kneeling at her feet like a stray dog, his tracksuit collar still stained with fried chicken grease from the arcade. It's 8:05. She glanced at the dock through the rain. The crane silhouette looked like a gallows in the lightning. Do you think Eva's lawyer has reached the health authority yet? Leo scrambled backward on his knees, his palms sliding on the carpet. When he reached the door handle, Sophia suddenly began playing Fur Elise, the song he'd requested at the restaurant on their first date. The music mixed with the rain, hitting the fire escape like the knocks they'd always feared during their affair. Bitch! Leo's shout was drowned out by thunder. The moment the security door slammed shut, a notification popped up on the piano bench. Her dismissal from the conservatory had taken effect. Sophia's left hand continued the melody, while her right reached for the clinic's accounting books on the coffee table. When the safe key fell from Leo's pocket, she saw the label clearly: Vacation Home, Spare Key. The divorce agreement on the music stand was blown off by the air conditioner. On the last page, in Marcus's neat handwriting, were the words, piano to be awarded to the wife. Rain beat against the French windows, and the sash of Sophia's bathrobe hung by the piano pedals. She pressed the sustain pedal, noticing the tip of Leo's other AJ sneaker peeking out from under the carpet. As the music faded, the paparazzi downstairs were still waiting, their cameras pointed at the dark window, unaware that the piano in this apartment had already gone out of tune.